And we are live. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know what today is? Today is Therapeutic Thursdays on Arthur Chain Podcast. And I am your host, Mr. Sapiosexual. And my co-host,
Hey, y'all already know it's your boy BU, because that's all you gotta motherfucking do is be you. That's it. Hey, at the end of the day, you are who you are. That's it.
yes, man. Hey, man, we got a great show tonight. We're going to talk about relationships. And it wouldn't be
Oh,
fun to talk about
shit.
relationships without having a woman perspective.
Goddamn.
So we got Miss Star in the building. How you doing, Star? Let's bring her up.
Good, I'm good. Hi. Thank you for
Damn, what's
having
up,
me.
Star? Damn, okay, boo. All right.
I'm excited to be here. I'm ready.
You're, okay. Okay. How was
Venus,
your week?
Venus person say, hey, y'all.
Hi.
All right, so Star. So how has your week been so far? Like, hold on, let's introduce you like fully. Like, who are you and where you're from and like all of that.
Well, I'm Star. I'm Puerto Rican, born and raised. I have
Okay.
been in the US for 10 years, based off of North Carolina. And I guess my background is pretty extensive because I've kind of been in different fields along the way. Um, major major fields like cosmetology have been my priority and the trucking industry. So that's both of my biggest things right now, what I'm working on currently. But it is extensive. My background is very extensive. And what else can I say? I don't have any kids. I'm not married, but I have had my fair share of experiences, which I feel qualify me to be here today to share.
So, uh, okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm excited to be here. I'm ready to see what unfolds.
Okay. That's what's up. Mister, how your week been?
Man, my
Since
week,
what?
man.
It's Thursday since we last talked. Well, not last talk. We talk every day, but
Since
last
the last show
podcast
on Monday.
Monday. Yeah,
Yeah.
last show.
Yeah,
How's your
everything's
week
been
been?
good. Everything's been good, brother, man. Thank you for asking. I can't complain, man. Life is good, bro. As long as I wake up and keep seeing this side of Earth, I'm gonna keep thanking God. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like
What about you, brother? How was your week?
um I had an easy week actually. A I like this week. This one of the best weeks I had actually. I like this week. Like
Oh wow.
it's
He said this week
yeah.
was a good week.
Yeah, no, not it wasn't a good week. It was a great week.
A great week. Excuse me.
Right.
Let's get that right.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Mind you, it's still Thursday. We got
hey,
a day more to
hey,
go.
hey! I like her already. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a great week, bro. Like, it's been smooth. Like, everything has been working itself out without doing too much work. It's been working itself out. So it's been like a great week, and it's like actually it's been like I know it's Therapeutic Thursdays, and not to sound too like cliche, but it's been a therapeutic week. It's been like and what I mean by that is like you can sit back and just think about like everything just therapeutic. You think about you sit back and you just fucking figure shit out like that you got going on, and that's the week I've had. Like and and it's not even about that. It's about having the time to even do that.
Right.
So it's been
Time management.
yes, it's about having time to do that, and yeah, it's been very it's been a therapeutic week actually. To even sum it up, tomorrow's Friday. Friday we sum it up. That's the end of the week, and we done with work pretty much. But yeah, it's been a very therapeutic week.
Glad you had a therapeutic week, my brother. Man, we got
I wish
we
I
got
could
some,
have
we got
every
some,
week like that, but
and you
life
and you
don't work
can't.
out.
You gotta be optimistic.
Yeah, But sometimes it don't work like that.
Well, you know me,
Sometimes,
I'm a look at the cup half full because I forgot. So I believe every week can be a great week.
This is true. But I want to add something to what BU said because I also feel like this week has been therapeutic for me and people around me. I've seen a lot of people have been going through a lot of mental struggle,
Yeah,
and it's been actually upcoming. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I
mm,
feel like this month is like when everybody's starting to come out of whatever they're going through and
right.
expressing,
mm,
hey, I am going through this and I need help, or I am, I'm drowning, or whatever their case
Yes,
is. It kind of, you can see it more as I guess we get closer to that month.
yeah.
But this week
okay.
particularly has been very therapeutic for a lot of people that needed help that didn't get any help before. So I can
Mm,
see that not just in you, I see it in me, I see it in people around me. So I think that's kind of going around like the flu. People being aware of what they need.
yes,
I feel
and it's
that.
not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad
I,
thing.
honestly. So,
Talk to me, brother.
Mister, um, growth. Like growth. Like, all right. So, how can we grow as a people,
As
as
a
one?
people,
Like as one. Where do you
as
think
one.
growth starts? What do you think growth starts?
What? Say that one more time. What do I think? What?
Where do you think growth starts?
Where do I think growth starts? Hmm.
Growth,
I
yes.
think I think growth starts in understanding. I think growth starts in all of us having empathy and compassion for everyone's situations and circumstances.
Okay, I like that. I can do that. Yeah, okay. I think growth starts within like with you within
Which part of
yourself
Okay.
you?
with deep that like within yourself.
But
Right.
like in the mental you or the emotional you?
Men. Hold on. No, you got hold.
I know
Where you
because
found her at?
I mean,
Hold
I'm just trying
up.
to look,
Hold
I'm just
up.
trying to elaborate on that because growth really is subjective to what the person is going through, and a lot of people are ready for growth mentally, but
Hmm.
emotionally, they're not ready to carry what that growth means. So
Woo.
you
God
get stuck
damn.
on I'm growing, I'm growing, I'm growing. You're growing in your mind, but you're not moving anywhere emotionally. So there's no growth. You're stagnant. So
Yes.
I think you can have growth in your mind all day, every day for the rest of your life. And if you are not growing emotionally, you are not going to move forward in your growth. You
Woo.
know,
Hey,
it's
Mister, where you found her at? What the hell? Hey, she done
Yeah.
shut me up. I don't even know what to say now. Hey.
this is I'm just trying to be me. Okay, be you. I'm just trying to be me.
You trying to be you?
I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to I came here raw, I came here to say what comes out of my mind. I told Mister that I was going to go through this and not say anything that came out like bluntly. But to be honest, I didn't get to do what I thought I was gonna do before I came in here. So everything that's gonna come out is gonna come out bluntly. But it's gonna
So
Right.
come
so
out
you're just like
raw,
me.
you
You're just
know.
like me. That's it.
Yeah, it's not scripted.
Yeah,
It's going
we
to
don't
just
do
come
that.
out because I feel like that's the best thing I can do here. Just be raw about what I have to say. So
All right, so
Yes.
you be you. All right, I get it. I
I'm
get
gonna
it.
be
And we
me.
and we and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We like the authenticity. We like the organicness.
Thank
You know what I
you.
mean? Yeah. That's
All right, so
definitely.
how you feel
Go ahead.
about gender roles and relationships?
You can go ahead. You can answer that, Star.
Me. Um. I'm
Also,
very
I'm sorry.
go
Phoenix
ahead.
Person
You
said
want me?
growth
You want
starts
me
when no
to
one.
explain?
I'll
Yeah,
read
Like,
this comment first, if y'all will. It
yeah.
says,
oh, okay,
yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the viewers. It says,
okay.
growth starts when no one longer thinks to revenge is the answer, in my opinion. How y'all feel about that response?
I can see it. I can definitely see it. But it kind of goes back up to what I said about emotional and mental connection and growth, because you can be ready to let something go and your heart still wants revenge. There's no growth there. You have to be able
Right.
to pair both things up.
Man,
Mm.
Hatter Marshall said, growth in humanity starts with listening and not just hearing and drawing judgment, but listening and having open minds.
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed, agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. All right, dog. I'm sorry, sorry. Y'all can keep on with the next.
There you go. So I want you to
Uh,
repeat the question and maybe like expand it a little bit for me, because there, I think that's a spectrum of things that could go on in gender roles and relationships.
okay, yeah. So, do you think women can be too masculine?
Oh, for sure.
Mm,
For sure. I think women can be too masculine and I think men can be too feminine, to be honest.
mm,
Um,
I like that.
but there's I guess I guess there's a couple of things about that though. Your background, where you came from, where you were raised, your trauma, whatever trauma you're bonded to
Yeah.
throughout your growing experience in life, and who you are trying to become. Because
Mm,
we pick up habits along the way, along our growth, our growing season, that are probably not the best ones when it comes to gender roles. Maybe you grew up with your mom and you're a little bit more feminine, but your mom did teach you what masculine things you were supposed to do. It can happen.
mm,
I've seen it. Um, but I also feel like trauma can cause women and men to shift their gender roles as a coping,
mm,
as a defense mechanism. And I can say that because I've put myself in that position before. Like I have, let me see. I haven't actually been completely single for about 5, 6 years, in and out, but not in an actual relationship. But who takes care of absolutely all the bills? Who takes care of the overtime and the business running? And who takes care of me? So I have to step up as the man of the house and the woman of the house. I have to be
mm.
the provider and the caregiver. Like
Yes.
I have to bring the chicken and cook it. When a man comes
Okay.
to me and they try to put me into my feminine energy, but they do not do anything that I already do for myself, it's kind of hard for me to put that wall down.
yeah.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
times when I do meet a man that starts to do those things for me, maybe he's not doing it at the capacity that I expected it to come, which danger, expectations can cause a lot of gaps and bridges in relationships. But again, coping and defense mechanisms will cause you to keep up that general at bay or up front. So
Mm.
yeah, it kind of goes with where you're trying to go in life. I know, back to my experience, I know that I don't want to be sitting in my masculine energy for the rest of my life.
Right.
All
But
right.
I
So all right. So with that being said, what ways do communication work between man and woman? Like, how do you think men communicate to you, women, and women communicate to men? How can that work out itself?
if
Because
somebody's already
you said
like
masculine.
if a woman is in a masculine energy,
Yeah.
or vice versa, I guess it would work both ways. But I think that a conversation needs to be had first about what both of their vision for the future is.
Mm.
Okay.
Because say one has kids, the other one doesn't. One wants kids, the other one doesn't. I want a house, I want an apartment, I want to travel the world, I want to do this, I want to do that. sometimes you have the perfect person and your visions don't match. Now you still have to stand in your feminine, masculine energy because you still have to provide for yourself. This guy's not trying to buy a house for you. You have to buy a house for yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
for all of that, for absolutely all of that that comes with gender roles, I think conversations need to be had where both people are willing to listen
Oh
and are
yeah.
willing to grow with an open mind.
So do
Okay.
you go into a relationship like not even a relationship? We're gonna call it friendship
Right.
because you got to be friends first. You go into it not wanting anything from the person, just the companionship. Pretty much, you just want them. You're not expecting nothing from them. That's how you go into a friendship or a relationship.
I feel like you shouldn't go with any expectation to any type of relationship, to be honest. Like, of course, you know what you want, but you should never have an expectation for anybody that you meet because you truly don't know them. Now,
Yeah,
once you have had this acknowledgement of who this person is, you have learned the person, you probably dated for a while, and you already know that your visions match and you're
yeah,
going towards the same place. Then we have to sit down and talk about, okay, I can actually take off the bricks off my shoulders and chill because he got my back just as much as I got his back.
Right.
okay.
That
I
I
like
think
that.
that's a good healthy dynamic when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
What you think about that, Mister?
About which part, sir?
All of it.
I love it.
Mhm.
I like her points of view on a lot of things. But I would like to know, like specific, like what are some specific like male roles to you and women roles to you, like from your upbringing. Like, what would you consider a male role? What would you consider a female role?
Well, we live in modern
Give me
times.
right.
So I think it's needless to say that you do need two people making bread somehow in the household.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
some comments. There has to be more than one income in the household. Um, it doesn't have. There's also a competition about who makes more money, and I have actually lived through that as well, and that also causes a lot of divorces, breakups, and stuff because
Yes.
competition.
Money.
And I don't think a lot of people are understanding in this time and age how hard it is to keep a marriage that you need to be apart, not apart, and
Right.
you have to push through with each other. But when it comes to the whole specifics about who does what, like I said, you do need two incomes. I feel like both parts need to work, whether it's I don't know, cleaning or work from home for a girl or doing hard labor outside for, to me it doesn't matter. I'm a truck driver. I've done cosmetology. I have done an extensive amount of things in my life, so it doesn't matter to me. As long as I have a job, I'm safe. I don't care what it is. And whatever his job is either, because it doesn't matter the amount. It, for me, it's more about quality and what we're doing together, how we put everything
Mm.
together to build. But yeah, two people have to work. Now, outside of the job thing, women were made to be nurturers and caregivers.
Mm.
So I think it is
Okay.
natural for us to want to be home with our children. I
Right.
think it's natural for
Yeah.
us to a husband that says, "Hey, I'm gonna go out there and pull this overtime, and I'm gonna work this 40 plus, 60 plus, and I'm gonna bring this bread home, and I want you to stay home with these kids." I think all women, or most women, because I want to be fair, would like that because we
Right.
are wired to want to be home with our kids and make sure that when our husband comes home, they have a safe environment to come to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's my point of view. I want to say most of us believe the same.
No.
But I know there's women that probably don't think that way. They don't want to take care of their man. They just want whatever piece of money they can get. And that is a very hot topic,
Yes.
because
It
this is
is.
about my point of view. And
Yes.
maybe in me, I have a more conservative aspect when it comes to marriage and gender roles. I do. I would want a man that takes over financially so that I can take over in nurturing and caring for our home. But I will also work because I know that
Right.
times are hard. And if my husband were to fall ill or he can't gets fired for whatever reason, whatever it is, I
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
know.
You can take over.
yeah, I need to know that I can help, that I can take care of my home because I can't just nurture it from the kitchen, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
But
Right.
you
I'm
said, hold up. You said you're a truck driver?
I am.
But, all right, explain to me. Let's talk. Let's do a deep dive.
Yeah.
Let's do a deep dive.
I'll do a little background. I'll do like a little quick background. But like I did cosmetology for 14 years. I had beauty salons back in Puerto Rico and I transferred over to the US and did like home service type of deal
Yeah.
while jumping from job to job, experiencing different things until I found my perfect fit. Now, COVID was a big deal. You know that.
Okay.
So it kind of made it harder for cosmetologists, especially in my case, because I didn't have a salon here. I was doing home service. And I ended up going to get my CDL because I had a lot of friends that were in the industry and I needed money and I wanted to get out. And,
Yeah.
I did that and I went over the road for 2 years. So I didn't even have a home base.
Oh,
I didn't
so you
have
did OTR. OTR. Okay.
Yes, I did that. It was very fun. I traveled, I experienced a lot of things. And then I said, I'm done because I want a little bit more quality of life. It's
Mm.
hard, especially for a woman that wants to eventually be married and have children, to create a home when you are traveling 24/7. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yes,
you have
that's
to
for sure.
sacrifice. Luckily, I did find a local job. I will keep the company, to the side, so I don't
Where
have to get
where
ready.
where where are you from? Like where you live at now?
I'm here in North Carolina in Fayetteville.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do work for a local company, and now I'm able to be here and create balance. You know.
So you're
It's-
single. You're single and looking and everything. All that.
Yeah.
Single and mingling.
I'm not really mingling right now. I was, but I feel like I am also taking a therapeutic month instead of a therapeutic week. I'm trying to work with balancing the growth in my mind with the growth in my emotional self.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
I'm not close to it though. I'm not close to it because, of course, you have to be open to meeting people and seeing what happens. But
Yeah.
I just need that person to be ready to take on what I'm taking on already. And
Yes.
I think that's fair. Again, gender roles, like you can't be a husband to a wife that you can't also take care of. Like you have to put the work in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what if you meet a husband who has kids?
I don't mind about that. Like I really don't, but I do mind baby mamas that do not know their place.
Hey,
Uh,
I feel that. I feel that
yeah, because
definitely.
I want to address his comment first because I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah. I was trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can address it.
Yeah, he said women talk about training their man. Do you think women have to be trainable too? I think nobody should be trainable. I think that if you feel like you are ready to be in a relationship it's because you are already trained to be in a relationship. You shouldn't have to mold the
Mm.
person that you are about to be with.
You
Mm.
You
don't think? Why you don't think so though?
I think there's room for growth always. And I think that you should always voice the things that you want. But that is dangerous in a relationship. Hold on. Hold on with this one. But even in a relationship, like you don't want to get stuck having to tell the person that you're with, this is what I want you to do. If you are not this way, this is not going to work. Because this is the person that you ultimately chose. You knew what you were looking for when you met this person and you decided to move forward.
Mm.
So if at that point where you're meeting this person and you are dating and stuff, you see things that you already don't like, you shouldn't have in your mind, oh, it's okay. I'm going to heal them. I am going to train her. I am going to make this man want me and help him become
Mm.
the man that he needs to
Okay.
become for me. That's what I mean. You know,
Mm.
like it's
Hmm.
not you shouldn't train them. You can always grow together, of course. That should be the goal, grow together. But from there to telling the girl or the man or the woman, you need to be this way, I want you to be or act this way, or let me train her subconsciously. She won't even figure it out that I'm doing it, or he won't even figure out that I'm trying to, turn him into the man that I want. That's not healthy because ultimately they are not. That's expectation
Mm.
that you've created in your mind for that person to
Wow.
be for you. That's not who they are. Does that make sense?
Be yeah, be you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
be
you.
you. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And there was another comment before this one. I didn't get to read it completely.
Oh,
Even when we jokingly say we want to be successful stay-at-home moms. Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, I feel like there are a lot of successful stay-at-home moms because there are also an incredible amount of poorly rated stay-at-home moms because you are home all day. There's no food made. Your kids are dirty. Homework's not done, but dad comes in at 11 o'clock at night and has to put these kids to bed and help them get a shower and help you make dinner at 11 o'clock at night. What were
God
you
damn,
doing?
at 11?
Yeah, it's an example, but I've seen it happen. This nothing that I'm saying now is rhetorical or no. Like these are things that I have seen.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Like I have really, you know, so you turning your man into your dad ain't training or molding. Turning my man into my dad is crazy.
That's Marshall. That's Marshall.
I feel like I need him to elaborate because there's no way. I don't think that okay, you know how they say, "Oh, you need yeah, seen it to see." It's not just me. I'm not imagining this. Um I don't think that when men want women to cook and clean and do their laundry, feed the kids and stuff like that, they don't realize that that's what their mom used to do when they were children and now they're expecting their wives to do it. So it's basically the same thing. You're telling me that men are training their women to be like their mom. So you telling me that me training a man to be like my dad, it's crazy. Because my dad did what he needed to do as a man for my mother and for me as his daughter. You know what I mean? Now it's your time as a man to be a husband and a father.
And a
So
provider.
yes. So that's it's not about being a dad. Every woman marries her father. If every man marries their mother, that's psychology 101. Eh, that goes into daddy issues and mommy issues. I think that is a very dangerous territory, to be honest. I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't want to marry somebody that's just like my dad, or I wouldn't want to be just like my mom for my husband. I aim to be better. I aim to modify the things that I saw growing up weren't in the best interest of the children around me, including myself. So no, I don't. I respect it. You know, if that's how you feel, if you think that you're being trained to be a dad to your
Yeah.
wife, and maybe that's a fetish that you have. You know, I don't know, but I don't see it like that. I feel like if a person sees that, maybe there's an internal issue, psychologically speaking. Like I said, mommy and daddy issues. Um, because you just have to understand what your responsibility as a man is and as a woman. And yeah, if you want to be a husband, I'm assuming you want to be a father for your kids, not your wife, which means you don't train them.
Yeah.
but I got a question though.
Yeah.
In most cases, in the perfect world, excuse me, in the perfect world, because I know this is not a perfect world. In a perfect world, is not your father supposed to be your first example of what a man is?
Yes. Agree. I agree.
So, so hold on. So if the man you meet in your future is mimicking the model of what you know a man to be, wouldn't it mimic all the good qualities of your father?
Mm-mm. Because, like I said, you want to aim to be better than what you grew up
Okay,
around, you know?
okay,
And
right.
maybe the father that the person that's commenting, which I really appreciate the comment because it does hit home for me. And I can elaborate on that too. Um, if you let's say you had a bad example of a father, or
Right.
you're going to end up with a bad example of a husband because you didn't choose anything better
Mm,
for yourself. It's the same
okay.
thing for a wife.
Okay.
If you had a
I
bad
get
example,
you.
what if you didn't even have the example of a father? You don't know what that is. So you're just going to choose
Right.
whatever man you think is a good example of a father?
All right, let me rebuttal that though, because you can have a bad example of a father and then realize like I don't want to be like him. I want to be the opposite of like what he showed me. I don't want to. I don't want to be like him at all.
It can happen.
I agree with that because
Because
I don't have
I
a
went through that because I didn't have a
yeah.
father.
Yeah.
So and then I didn't want to be like him. So I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna do everything he didn't do to me that I needed, that I wanted. That's what I did to my kids. That's what I'm doing to my kids now.
Yeah. So you
So
see what I'm saying? Like you want to aspire to be better.
yes,
So,
Right.
so
yes,
the woman that you get with, or if you're married, I'm sorry, I don't know your business, but like the woman that you're with doesn't have to train you to be like her father because you have to focus on the vision of a father that you have, even if you didn't have one,
Mm,
what you want to
okay.
become.
yeah,
You know.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I
yeah. I like
personally
the way you
don't.
said. Goddamn, I like that.
I put when you put it in that perspective, I
I like the
respect
way
what
you
you're
said
saying.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm mopping up what you're spilling.
I don't know if
yeah,
what he tried to say was more of like an attack because I know that he mentioned psychology 101, which can be very much true. But because we're not talking about a specific book and a specific person, we're talking about the generalized idea of what this is and how many different examples of being a mother and being a father and being a husband and a wife we have nowadays. It's really hard to just say, okay, so women have to be trainable and men have to be trainable. No, we don't. Like, we have to learn to adapt on our own. But trainable means that somebody else is going to tell you what you need to do. Somebody
yeah.
else is going to show you what way you have to go so that you fulfill their needs. And I think that's kind of
Mm.
selfish. I don't think that goes with marriage. I think that kind of sounds like manipulation.
So is
Yeah.
coachable a better word?
I think growing together is the right term.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
like it. I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. I
Like,
Growing
respect it. Yeah.
together.
Hey, look. Hey,
I
Okay.
would like
you
for
ain't
if
getting
they're
you.
still watching, if they're still watching, like I and they can elaborate on like how they feel about that because I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying that that's how I see it because I really do feel like people can grow together, but telling somebody else how they need to be or trying to train somebody to be what you want them to be is not really a healthy thing in a relationship.
Right. I
And it
respect
kind of
that.
messes, yeah, and it kind of messes up with the gender role thing because it's chauvinism towards a woman and feminism towards a man.
All
Okay.
right. So, all right. So, what do you think a healthy relationship is? Problems and all included, everything included. What's a healthy relationship?
Man,
Hey,
that is hard.
hey,
That is very hard because for one, you have to have communication, but what is communication without understanding? And then what is understanding if the person that you're trying to communicate and understand is not open minded about what you feel?
yeah.
What is a nicer word for trainable? Eh. I don't know. I am not a psychiatrist or a psychologist here, okay? um, just Google synonyms for trainable.
Just Google. Hey, Google it.
See, okay, but this here is a good example because that's what I said. It's not about telling them how you want it to be. If you met that man and he didn't get you flowers, he's not romantic. I have actually been here a lot of times. He's not romantic. He doesn't go out of his way to do cute things for you, which is
Yeah.
fine. Hold that comment because this is the guy I was talking about, and I am interested in his point of view. Um, wait, I'm just entertained with it. Um, you can tell you. I heard this from a man actually, and he told me. I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was just like they were just trying to make me feel like they were lazy, to be honest, by doing things for a woman. But it made sense to me. They are not magicians, my lady. Men are not mind readers. And when I was in therapy, I also heard this from my therapist. You have to voice the things that you want in a relationship, because maybe the example that that guy had growing up was not a romantic father, was not romance at all. You know, maybe that guy did not grow up buying flowers for his mother or his whatever. You know, he didn't have that example. But then you get confused because there are men that will go out of their way to do it for somebody else afterwards. So maybe they just don't want to do it for you. So it's confusing because you really have to see where they're coming from and what are you doing to get that out of them. Is that person feeling safe with you? Is that person feeling comfortable enough with you that they feel like they want to do these things for you? Because at the end of the day, the reality is men know what they need to do. We all
Yeah,
do. We all know
yeah.
what
We both of us know actually.
yeah. There's a we all know what we need to do. So I feel like you should voice it. Like I do encourage you to voice the things that you want in that relationship. You only need to say that one time. If things
What?
do not change, you know,
Okay. What
if
needs? All right. So you went. Hold up. Talk to me. Like let's do a deep dive. Talk to what made you go through therapy? Like you went through you went to a therapist.
yeah, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna drop this one too, just to get it out of the way, because I
Right.
have OCD. If the man ain't putting down the toilet seat, and this, listen to this is a guy, right? I'm assuming this is a man.
Yeah,
If the
that's
man
Matt
ain't
Hatter.
putting
Yeah.
down the toilet seat, are you gonna train him to put it down or look down before you sit your ass in water? Why do I have to tell a man to put a toilet seat down if he knows that he lives in the presence of a woman?
Yeah, that's common sense.
And this is what I'm saying. You don't have to. We are not dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I agree. I
We
agree.
are sapio, right? Uh, we what distinguishes us from animals is the fact that we can rationalize.
Right.
Well, then you can teach a man that never had that example to do so. Voice your opinion rather than train. Exactly. Voice your opinion. Voice what you want. Just tell him what you want. But my advice is, if you have to say it more than once, he is listening you. I mean, listening to you. He just doesn't want to do it for you.
Yeah,
That
you're not the one. That's
yeah. That and that hurt. That has actually hurt and hit me because I've been there. You know, I can do 100,000 things to show a guy that I'm the right one. But
yeah.
if that guy doesn't feel the same way about me, it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I say. I can be available all day. I can do whatever. I can go the distance like Hercules. It doesn't matter if that person does not feel connected to me and doesn't want to do those things naturally for me. It does not matter.
Yeah.
But you only have to say it once, and I think that goes for men too. I feel like men should be able to tell their women like, "Hey, I want you to maybe do this. Maybe she's a little bland in bedroom, and he likes something a little more spicy. Tell her, hey, I would like for you to like do this, whatever, or I want us to do
Hey,
more."
we got is this explicit on here or no?
Huh?
I'm talking to Mister.
What you mean explicit? What be you, bro?
All right. Never mind. Let's go on.
Be
Hey,
nice. Be
so
nice. Be
I'm
you and
being
be
nice.
nice.
Be you be nice.
Yeah. But
I,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I
I get
really
what you're
have to
saying. But the therapy part. Let's go back to the therapy. What made
okay.
you seek therapy?
I went through a lot of things in my journey. I'm not going to voice them all out, but I have gone through a lot of things. I am a victim of a couple of different things as well, and it caused anxiety disorders. It caused seasons of depression.
Yes.
It caused a lot of insecurities for me also as a woman in the time and age that I live. Mind you, I don't know if I have to repeat this, but I am a Hispanic woman in the United States under the government that we're living
Yes.
in, or we have been living in. So it kind of makes it hard, just like it makes it hard for Black people, you know?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
It triggers the back of the mind really badly. And then you're trying to, again, my gender roles for my life have had to be men and women at the same time because I do not count with support of anything or anybody. I have to do everything on my own. So it takes a toll on you mentally, you know.
Yeah.
And when I decided that I wanted to go and seek therapy, it took a lot out of me because I have a lot of pride, a lot of ego. It's what's pushed me to be who I am today, you know, and have the mindset that I have.
Yeah.
But it, I felt like if I didn't do that in the moment that I did it, I probably would just stay stagnant in my process.
Yeah.
And I had ran away from God in a way that I had never ran before. Like, because I didn't see the results that I wanted in my life immediately after prayer, for example. I was like, He's not listening. Like, I'm gonna drown, so I have to do something else in the meantime.
Mm.
Little did I know that the person that was, well, my therapist in that case, was very heavily influenced by God.
Mm.
You know, it was kind of like he was talking straight to me.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and I actually have a very close friend of mine that I don't talk to very often, but we're very close. When we do talk, it's very, very close. And every time that I had the conversations with that person, it also felt like God was talking straight to me. And I felt like I
Mm.
was having double therapy at that season of my life. And it kind of put, you know, it put everything into perspective. It is okay. And for anybody that is watching this, it is okay not to be okay. And it is definitely okay to seek help. It doesn't matter what
Hey,
color.
hey, hey! What did Short say? You are enough.
Yes, you are enough. And you are here.
Hey, and you are here. I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So, so you want to read Roxanne's comment?
Yeah. So, what is your perspective of or being trained coach to be a mother or play a motherly role as a single woman with no kids dating a man with kids? Okay, I grew up being a mother for other children. Unfortunately, I have to say that I feel, I guess I have to say I was kind of robbed of a part of my childhood. When I was 11, I was already taking care of children because of the circumstances my parents were in. My
Yeah.
parents were great. I'm not gonna say that they weren't. They were great, but divorce happened. You know, life happens, and there were a lot of kids between my cousins and kids from like my mother's friends or my dad's friends' kids that needed to be taken care of. So I grew up basically teaching myself how to be motherly, but I feel like I was born with that instinct, to be honest, because before I could say what I was going to be when I grew up, I wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
That was just like instilled in me. But of course, I'm not perfect, and not having my own kids, I had to not train, but I had to learn along the way how to be motherly. I am, in fact, a god mom, and I'm very proud to say that because I have played an active part in her life. And she's now 14, I think, 13, 14. She just had
Yeah.
her birthday.
So you hold on. So you've been a god mom for 14 years or no?
No, I've been a god mom since she was like 5. So that's like what, 10 years?
Okay. All right. Hey, I thought you started off as a god mom. Hold up. Hold up.
No, because I met them when she was 4.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
I'm
mean
like,
to.
oh, you usually got mom from birth.
Yeah, being a gamani is so it's somewhere, but I feel like a lot of people don't validate that because they don't really know the meaning of being a godparent. They
Mm,
think that that's just somebody that is going to be there when the parents are fail to be there or they're not here anymore. And I feel like that is wrong. I feel like if you are a godparent, you need to be active in these kids' lives because you don't want to be with a stranger when something bad happens. You know.
Yeah.
right.
Um. So yeah. But to what she was saying, train. Yeah, I feel like I'm very open to listening to moms around the world. I've seen a lot. I have taught myself a lot. And I feel like I am very much coachable and willing to learn and expand my knowledge of motherhood because I do want to be a mom at some point, you know.
Hey, you
Even if
from Fayetteville? I don't know you.
no, you
You from
don't.
Fayetteville?
That's because I don't be
I'm
out
from the
there in
Ville.
those streets.
You said what?
I don't be out there in those streets. I if you see me, you're gonna see
I'm
me.
from the Ville. How you from Fayetteville and I don't know you?
I just
I'm
told you I
see.
don't be out there like that. I'm a very reserved person. Like I keep very close circles. Well, I keep a very close circle. I could count my close friends with one hand, and I'll have fingers left.
Yeah.
And wherever I go is because I need to. Right now, because I'm actively like working on my physical health and trying to like work out more and go out of my comfort zone. You might find me at the gym. But you won't see me at the mall or clubbing because that is
No.
not my
Yeah, I
scene.
ain't gonna find you. I'm in Orlando, so I ain't
Now,
gonna find
see? So how?
you.
What would?
I ain't gonna
What
find
would
you.
you?
Uh, I just
Yeah.
yeah. What school you went to? High school.
I didn't go to school here. I went to school back home.
So you moved to Fayetteville.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Whoa. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
The
Okay.
only school that I participated in Fayetteville was Paul Mitchell, the school, because I was trying to transfer over my cosmetology credits so that I could build a salon. But then
Yeah.
COVID hit and I discontinued that.
Yeah. So that was like 4 years ago, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm. Interesting. All right. Hey. Uh,
This guy.
Because I'm
All
like,
right, so
yo,
we're
did
gonna
we go to school with her or something? Like, I didn't know.
nah, we didn't go to school with it.
No.
Um, so the psychology of appearance. We're going to talk about appearances. How important do you believe physical appearance is in establishing attraction in a relationship?
It's like probably number two. On my chart, it's probably number two because I'm very much guided by energy, like big on energy. But
Okay.
at the same time, I need to be attracted to what I'm looking at. That's just my reality.
Okay.
I don't think that I am shallow. Um, I really don't think I'm shallow. I can't be shallow. But I don't think anybody looks at someone and they, oh, that girl over there, she got a good heart. Like, ooh, that
Hey,
man, I
I
know
can
that man
agree.
got
I'm like,
money.
hey, that girl, she got a fat ass. Like, I can agree.
You know
Like,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You don't,
yeah.
you're not initially attracted by anything but physical attraction.
And then we get attracted to the energy.
Exactly. As you get to know people, you realize, okay, is this attraction just physical or is it mental? Is it emotional? Do we connect?
But
I don't.
some people don't care about the physicality. Like, so,
I hear that. I hear that a lot, but it's kind of hard for me to believe it because they're the same people that you will find liking better pictures of better women on Instagram or cheating eventually in their relationship or just looking for ways to enhance a relationship because what they're looking at is not exactly what they are really attracted to. I
all
feel
Mm.
right. So how do ugly women get men?
like how do what?
What the fuck?
What?
Hey, how do ugly women get men?
How do ugly women get men? Are you gonna have to go after ugly women?
I'm just asking. Hey,
I'm sorry, no.
if we're not physically attracted to them, how do they
I
get
don't
men?
no, but okay. Okay, being respectful.
I want the answer.
I know we're over here giggling about it, but the truth is beauty is really in the eye of the beholder. This is a real thing. And everybody doesn't have the same taste. What's ugly to you, it's not ugly for the next man. You know, it's a reality. And sometimes, and this kind of happened to me. Um, I was not attracted at all physically to somebody, and I just witchcraft. It happened. It
Witchcraft.
happened. But the power of God, just because you're
Hey,
yep,
that's some voodoo shit right there. Yeah, I get it.
agreed.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
whatever is ugly for you might not be ugly for the next man. But for me, like, yeah, I did meet somebody that I was completely not attracted to physically, and I did develop feelings for that person. But I found myself cornered with it because the reality is that when I think about it, it's like, do I want to sit next to this person for the rest of my life, knowing that I don't really feel attracted to them physically, but they nurture my heart? It's a very hard position to be in, to be honest.
Yes.
It's a really hard position because you don't want to break their heart as much as they're nurturing yours. That's just a reality. So it can
Hey,
happen.
hey, oh no, because ugly is ugly. Like if you ugly, like there's a different type of ugly.
There
If you
there
there's a
are
different type of ugly. If you ugly, you ugly. Like
there are levels. I can understand
there's
that.
levels. Yeah,
I can
to
understand that there are
ugliness.
levels, but like
Yeah,
I said, everybody has different perspectives. There, what's really ugly to you might be kind of ugly to somebody else. It still ranges. Everybody sees things different.
Everybody see things differently, and then not even trying to be funny, but I mean, there's people who walk around here blind. So of course, their physical attraction to you is something different than just the physical.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody that ugly, to be honest, because heart is like when you, even like I just said, I was not attracted to that person at all, and they still managed to bring feelings out of me that probably nobody else had. And then it just kind of start when you start having feelings for somebody, you also like them a little bit more, or they look better to you. Things start shifting because of how they're making you feel.
yeah.
I've seen that in a lot of relationships. I feel like the opposite.
What Roxanne said?
She said, I feel like the opposite sex can be physically attractive, and once you fall for the vibe or the energy, you realize they are ugly inside. This is so true. So
Yeah,
true.
Roxanne, I'm ugly.
Well,
I'll let her
you
answer
taking
that.
this too personal.
Nah, I'm just talking shit.
Uh-uh.
What
No,
you, hold
see,
on, what you sipping on?
that's just tea. It's
Okay.
hot tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh
But you got an answer for that?
yeah, I mean, I think that's very true. That's why I said, like, you see, the person that I was not attracted to ended up bringing out feelings for me. Can happen the opposite way too. You can
Yeah.
literally find the most gorgeous woman on earth, the most handsome man on earth, and
Yeah.
they are rotten inside. And you don't want to be stuck with that for the rest of your life either. You know,
Yeah.
it's a reality, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And remember when we talked about growth and your mindset and your emotional self going part? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you can't grow in love with somebody if you're not mentally there with them either. And you don't want to lie to
Damn,
yourself.
that's some real shit you just said right there. Hold up. Say that one more time for me.
I don't know what I say, you say. Okay.
Say that one more time for
But
me.
you can't grow in love with somebody if you're not mentally in sync with them. You
Damn.
know, there
God
has to
damn.
be there has to be a connection of some sort, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical. But the reality is the illusion of options will have you thinking the next girl is going to look better, and you will go for the better looking piece of ass, pardon my French, and find yourself eating a rotten apple for the rest of your life.
Mm.
This happens with
Mm.
men and women.
Damn. Hey, you hitting some spots right now.
How long does it take
Can
for
you
you
read that?
to
Yeah.
feel like you personally know someone, or you know for a fact that's who you want to spend your life with? Hi, Roxanne. I don't think you ever get to know anybody fully. You can be married for 40, 50 years and get cheated on. Also have seen this happen. I've seen a divorce happen after 50 years of marriage.
Yeah,
Grandkids,
after 50 years?
picket fence, everything. 50 years of marriage, old people, you know what I mean? And they cheat and they divorce. It happens. This is why they tell you, like even when you go to therapy, they'll tell you your main focus should always be yourself. Even when you're in a relationship, you need to make sure that you are okay on your own before you go and get in a relationship, because relationships will take the best parts of you and leave you dry. And then years after you spend your life with these people, you realize who they really are, or their perspectives have changed, or they grew out of love, because all these things are factors. All these things can happen.
Mm.
You
You
can
spitting facts, yeah.
you can marry your high school sweetheart and be with them for 10 years, and then they decide, hey, guess what? We're not teenagers anymore, and I want something else for my life now. Now what?
Mm.
You have 3 kids, you got to get a divorce, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, because you didn't focus on your foundation as an individual.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's hard. And
Mm.
mind you, this is coming from somebody that has never been married. So don't take my advice for it. Go out in the world and experience it on your own. You know?
Mm.
But it's true. I don't think you ever fully know somebody. So my advice is, as you get to know the person that you think you're going to be for the rest of your life with, enjoy the good, embrace the positive, and
Yeah.
always brace for impact, because you don't know what's
Hmm.
going to happen.
I like the brace for impact.
Communication is key. Everything is out in the open. I'd rather have someone transparent, not safe with words, to protect your heart. I just got out of a dating stage with somebody, not even dating, let's just call it a talking stage with somebody that did not do well at all with expressing their feelings. And I'm just going to go straight into that, because I think it's important with what she just said. They
Right.
didn't know how to express their feelings at all. I'm a very expressive person, as you can tell. Like I have,
Yeah, I can see it. I see
like I will tell
it.
you how I feel. I will tell you how you're making me feel, and I will always seek clarity. I am very transparent. So I expect the person that I get with to be the same way. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to train you to be that way. But
Yeah.
if it's not coming out of you to be transparent, to tell me how you're feeling or where this is going, then we're not going to work out.
Yeah.
Actually, don't tell me you need space. Go ahead and take it. Because what am I supposed to do? I'm not training you. I'm
I fucking
33.
like her.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm 30. Thank you. But it's a reality. Do not settle for somebody that does not communicate clearly and transparently about how they feel. Because the reality is, it doesn't matter how much trauma you've been through in your life, how many failed relationships you've been in, especially if you're in your 30s. Because our 30s, we're already about to be in our 40s. We do not have time for games. And I feel like anybody that is in their 30s and is playing games should be ashamed of themselves. If you're watching and you qualify in that category, you need help. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. We need to grow up. You're not
Yeah.
hurting the people around you. You're hurting yourself,
Yeah. Niggas in
and
their
you're
30s
hurting
playing
your growth.
games. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you're hurting your growth.
Yeah. I agree
Stunning, stunning
100%.
your growth. Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very. So I agree with what you said, and it's very sad, because you don't want to find yourself 35, 38, sometimes even in your 40s, talking about, I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want a relationship, or I just don't do well expressing my feelings. How are you this old? Have kids, maybe been married already. You probably run a company or have 20,000 jobs, and you don't know how to express your feelings. So how are you raising your children to be?
Yeah.
You know, words are beautiful, but secrets come out later and make you look at some. Am I reading this the right way? Differently will make you act different. I don't think I'm pairing up what she's trying to say. If you read that yourself and see if you can figure that out.
Words are beautiful, but secrets come out later, make you look at someone differently and make you act different. That's what she
Mm,
said.
yeah. Yeah. But a lot of people will say that they're expressing their feelings, but they're just really feeding into what you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's also very dangerous, which is why you have to take your time in knowing people. And again, what I said, you have to focus on making sure that you're good as an individual because you don't know what you're going to do. Brace for impact. And I hate to say it because you don't, ideally, nobody wants to walk into a relationship thinking, I need to be guarded. I need to be aware of what's going to happen next. No, you want to be in a comfortable relationship where you feel safe. This is
Yeah.
also why you don't go ahead and marry the first guy that speaks cute to you and has amazing sex with you. You have to spend
Yeah.
time to
Hey,
know.
cause nigga, well, not even a nigga. Like people will manipulate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's,
think
Man or
that
woman.
definitely, yeah, definitely goes both ways.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of
man or woman.
parasite energy out in the universe right now,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And it's kind of bummy because I mean I can only say this from a woman's perspective, talking about men because of my experience. It's not with women, right? But I feel like a woman like me that has worked her entire life, because I started working when I was like 13. Like I started doing little things here and there, had my first real job at 16 and took it from there. It's like I'm used to being a provider. Okay.
Yeah.
So when a guy comes in and he sees that that's the dynamic that I have in my life, immediately feels comfortable to just fall back and be like, all right, she got it.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, no. Oh, what does she want? She just wants to be romanticized? Okay, I'm just go ahead and get her some flowers. Let me make her
Yeah.
some dinner. Let me rub her feet. I'll just stay here for the rest of the day and play these damn video games.
I I like you. Hey, where you found her at, Mister? Damn. I like
I don't
that.
know. I
I
don't
Hey,
know.
but
don't know where you found
you
her.
know what they say?
Hey,
Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You never
Yeah.
get, hey, you might want to be careful, B. You niggas, she might take your job.
she might take my job.
Yeah, I did not come here for anybody's
Hey,
job. I came here to have a good time.
can't nobody take my spot. I'm the top spot.
No,
What the
I could
hell?
never. I could never.
Yeah,
That's
I'm the
not
top
true.
spot. Can't nobody take mine. But you can try.
We can share.
Hey, we shared? Okay, okay, we
Sharing is
shared.
caring.
Okay.
No, but I didn't come here for. I
You
really
see
didn't
that,
come here
Mister?
for.
Mister, hey, he hating a little bit. He gonna smile, but he hating a little bit. He hating behind the scenes. Yeah, he gonna smile
No.
though, but I get it. You can read that comment.
Yeah, anyone can speak words into you and make you believe everything is true until you actually listen and pay attention to the reality. To start off a relationship with everything out on the table. So start a relationship. Yeah, absolutely. What did she say today? Hold on. I just talked to my friend today. She said something just like this. Uh, can you bring that comment back
Hey,
up?
Roxanne. Hey, Roxanne. Hey, Big Rock. You vocal today, boo. Hey, I got to holler at you. All right, what's your best friend said?
I'm trying to remember exactly her words, but we were talking about something particular, something like this, and I just kind of said something about it too. Like people will tell you what you want to hear, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially at the
yeah,
beginning.
definitely. Yeah,
So it's really hard to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put everything out clearly on the table because you don't know who is bringing the table, who is building the table, who's cleaning the table, or who is sitting at the table. You don't know. That's a reality. Um, Paying attention to reality. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
God damn,
So,
I like her.
because it was funny, and this is actually very personal, but I am gonna throw it out there. I told my friend that I felt like I was in a delusional stage with certain things where because I was trying to tell myself, okay, maybe at some point this particular thing is gonna turn around, it's gonna come back and it's gonna work out, right? Because
Yeah,
because in my heart, that's what I wanted.
yeah,
In my mind, I know that it's not going to work out.
Right.
But for me to cope emotionally with the fact that one thing is not aligned with the other, I had to tell myself what I wanted to hear,
yeah,
you know? And because she was not going to tell me that, she's not going to tell me what I want to hear because she's real. She's going to tell me the truth.
Right.
She went ahead and said, come down of your cloud. She said, sink into your reality. Because right now, what is making you grieve is actually a blessing for you.
Mm,
It's a rock that just you just got out of the way. You are no longer stagnant. You can move in whatever direction you want.
mm.
This is your life. This is your reality. You know? And sometimes reality hurts. Actually, reality hurts all the time, but we grow up adapting to what we live.
Yeah.
So we don't even feel it. Nobody likes to go to work every day, but you don't wake up every day in pain because you're gonna go to work. You adapted to going to work every day. It
Yeah.
sucks, but it's reality.
You want to read
So
that?
yeah, so it's just like when a man with kids say, "My baby mama is bitter," and the new woman in his life becomes defensive over what she is being told and believes is true. Don't take it away. This baby mama topic is not unfamiliar to me, unfortunately, either. um, I don't mind the kids. Like I said, I mind the baby mamas. Baby mamas do need to understand their place. If things didn't work out with the baby daddy, you have to respect the connection that mom and dad have with the kids, not mom and dad with each other. Um,
Yeah, you spitting some fucking facts. God damn.
that's just it's
Okay. Yeah.
I don't even think that needs to be explored. You know,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be entertained. Like, okay, you guys have kids. Mom loves the kids. Dad loves the kids.
That's it.
Kids love their parents. But if mom and dad don't love each other, and they already know that it is a dysfunctional environment, it doesn't matter how hard you want to try. It
Yeah.
already is a dysfunctional. And the thing about it is, kids pick up on every energy around them.
Yes.
So
That's 100% true.
yeah, you can pretend all day to have the perfect marriage in front of your kids, and guess what? They already know what the energy is. You don't have to tell them. So when they grow up, they're gonna do exactly the same thing that you did. They're either
Yeah.
they're gonna act on the energy they picked up, or they're going to pretend. So they're truly not even being themselves. They're being a traumatized version of what they learned, and
Damn,
they're
I
going to
like
prove
her.
that.
What the fuck?
And
Where the
guess
fuck you
what?
found her at? I like her.
Guess what
What the
the
hell?
best part guess
What
what
the
the
hell
best
you
part
found?
about
Hey,
that is?
hey, hold on, Mister. Where you found her at? I like her. What the fuck going on here? I'm
No,
confused.
I believe the way a man treats the mother of his kids is so important and shouldn't have any type of chaos. This I agree, which is why I said the boundaries need to be met. If there are no boundaries, it's not going to work out. Especially if there's another relationship to be had from either way. Because I feel like baby daddies also have the same view. Baby daddies consistently show us that they think, or they want to prove that they can get their baby mama back at any time, which is very toxic. Because when you have another relationship, you don't want your baby mama in your business, do you? You know, it's
Fuck
like,
no.
leave it alone. Just learn to leave it alone. And that is, let go culture should be a thing. Like, we need to learn to let go, and we need to
I
learn.
like what you just said. Let go culture. I like
Yeah,
that.
it should be a thing. Like, everybody has something in their life that they have to let go of.
Yes.
That's a reality. It doesn't even have to be in a relationship. There's
Yeah.
something that everybody has that they have to let go of. It should be let go culture. But baby mamas is something. Baby mamas and baby daddies. It's not just baby mamas, because baby
I was
daddies.
about to say it's both. It's both because like
Yeah, they're doing
it's
it
some
too.
niggas that ain't shit. Yeah.
It, I'm one
That's like,
particularly.
I think it might be more niggas that ain't shit
More what?
than women.
I can't say that because there's more women to men
Well,
in the world.
so I don't know. I think it still is actually.
Yeah, but the reality about it is, and I don't want to sound like I'm feminine because I'm
The
not.
ratio might be different, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to sound like I'm a feminist because I'm not, and I'm definitely not in favor of the baby mamas that want to be bitter. But I do feel like us women have allowed too much when it comes to that, because
I agree.
because men know, and I feel like you both are grown men and have a different perspective about what we're talking about. And I think you would
Yes.
back me when I say baby daddies know what they are doing.
Yeah. I
Like,
agree. 100%.
especially because of the main factor about that is there are kids involved. So your behavior is a direct learning experience for your children. So you know what you're doing.
Yes.
Nobody is telling you to do something else. You are not being trained to be a father. You are learning to be a father. You are not being trained to be a baby daddy. You are acting like a baby daddy.
Yes. Yeah, Roxanne, you're active tonight. Okay, Roxanne.
I think
Hey,
we're having a conversation, me and her.
yeah, you and her, y'all talking to each other.
I love it.
Then that should be the boundary from both women to leave it between the mom and dad for the kids' sake to look up at the parents who they love and feel safe with. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um, Boundaries is the key word here for both ways. There need to be boundaries. And if there's somebody going to be introduced into that relationship at some point, mom and dad need to sit down and have a conversation about, hey, I want to meet this person first because not because I'm jealous. I want to see what she looked like. I want to see what he looked like. Is he a nice person? He am a no. It's because I want to know if the energy that this person brings out is an energy that I want my kids to be in. How are my
Mm,
kids going to accept this? If the closest DNA that my kids have is directly to me and I don't take on this energy good or positively, my kids won't either.
yeah.
But we have to be mature about it. We can't work that boundary with our emotions. We have to work with our mental state and where we're trying to go in life with this relationship.
But
Yeah.
if you're not mentally, are you like mental is emotional still?
Not really, because you can. It's like I told you before. You can have a specific thought in your head that doesn't match your
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah, yeah. Emotion for yeah. That's what you
Yeah,
said earlier.
'cause
Yeah,
you can be say you and I were in a relationship and we have kids together, and you
yeah,
are about to introduce a woman to our kids, but I'm still in love with you
yeah,
secretly. Let's say I'm okay. Like I already moved on up from the relationship, and I know you're gonna have somebody else meeting my kids, our kids, but I'm emotionally involved with you still. I'm still in love with you. So I know I'm going to be bitter about that connection. And I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that you see that I'm still here.
yeah.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you love me. You okay? I got it. Uh,
But then you also gotta see something that's very important about that is that if it also depends the position that you had this woman in, not sexually, but
yes,
mentally and emotionally.
mentally, like yeah, mentally.
If you were abusive, controlling, if you cheated, if you were a party person, if you were never home, there's a lot of factors that are going to also stop maybe mama from allowing certain behaviors around her kids with other people coming in because she already knows you're not stable.
Yeah,
You know, she already knows that you cheat. She already knows that you like to party, that you like to be doing this, that you like to do that.
yeah,
So I wouldn't trust it. Now you have to come in and let that be that there's no feelings involved. Now pair that up with the fact that she still has feelings for you, even though she knows that relationship would be dysfunctional. That is a no grounds for you bringing somebody else around her kids.
mm,
Yeah.
That is when the bitter comes out.
Right.
So you should be mindful of how you treat the mother of your children while you are together because it will affect directly your children and that relationship when you're not.
Right. Right.
Said it.
Absolutely.
I don't have kids. Like I said, take it as you want. Go out and experience it yourself. you know.
you want to put that comment up, Mister?
I think we already put that one down, bro.
Yeah,
Hold on.
we're
To
talking about
just
this now.
to no, it just posted. It literally just not. All right.
Some mothers really let go and don't care. LOL. What the other parent is doing or who they are with, as long as they are taking care of their responsibilities. There are some great papas. This is true. Yeah. That's true. And I applaud them because that is very hard to do. You know, when you go into a relationship, you don't think about the end of the relationship. You're thinking about how it's going to be for the rest of your lives. And it's really hard to let go.
Yeah.
So those people that manage to continue to be great fathers and continue to be great mothers to their kids, whoever has the primary custody, I feel very, very proud of them because they are what's keeping marriages going, to be honest. Because
Yeah.
those kids in those types of boundary baby mama, baby daddy dynamic have more
Yes.
chances of having healthier relationships, healthier marriages than the rest of them.
Yes.
And I think that's very good. And I would aspire to be in that position if that was ever my case. But I would say this, that is also the reason why I do not have kids right now. Because I do not want to be a baby mama. I do not want to be a baby bitter baby mama.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
you don't want to be a BBB. Yeah,
yeah, I just want to be a
A
wife and a mother.
BBM. That's cool.
I want to be I want to be a wife. I
baby
want to be
bitter, baby mama.
yeah. It's a lot, but it can happen. There's a lot of multiple scenarios that can take place, but we always pray for the positive ones to be the majority. Yeah.
Right.
For
Right.
our kids, because this is what's coming up in the world. Our kids, they are who are going to handle the next part of life, you know, the next part of this universe that we're living in, that we're creating for them.
Yeah,
Like we have already done enough damage. We have
yeah,
a lot of healing to do.
Right.
I feel that.
What's next? Come
Mhm.
on.
Hey,
All right.
hold up.
So
Hey,
I
hey,
got
hey,
so
Besser, you got it. Yeah, hey, yeah. 'Cause
so
I'm
let
running.
me so let me ask you, what does empowerment mean to you in the context of personal appearance or dress?
Talk about dress codes here.
Yes.
I I used to dress very revealing in a season of my life where sex was a tool for me to get what I wanted or where I wanted to be.
Mm,
Not saying, let me clarify this, not saying that I was using sex as a thing to do, but sex appeal, I should say, you know.
yes.
The
Sex
reality
appeal.
is that being sexy is better than not being sexy. You know, it is what it is. Um, take I actually got criticized a couple of times. Not even criticized. They would just say funny things about like, oh yeah, you know, you're very revealing, or why you're always showing us so much skin and stuff like that. And I'm like, I mean, if I have it, but I grew. You know, I grew out of that season of my life, and I started wearing a little bit more clothes, and I realized that my breasts are actually bigger than my titties.
Oh shit.
so so I moved further in life and I moved rather quickly when it came to that. Um Before I read her comment, because I feel like this is going exactly where I'm about to I'm about to go. Um there's a lot of women that will dress very, very revealing and provocatively to the point where it's vulgar. There is a line to be drawn when it comes to that. And it also tells you how much you respect yourself. I feel like I don't think that if you respect yourself and you know that you have so much more to offer than all of your skin, then you have to go out here and show it all. You know, it's also biblical. Your body is not really your body if you're married, you know, but that's a whole nother topic. Roxanne says, I believe a secure man wouldn't mind what his lady is wearing as long as she's respectful and grounded. Absolutely. So wear what you want, period. I agree.
But what
But
is considered respectful?
yeah, I was saying like I agree. You can wear what you want. Like, do you, girl? You know, whatever makes you happy. If your man is happy and you feel like you got it going on and he respects you and you're grounded, that's how you feel. By all means, do what you want to do. but it still has a lot. I mean, we shouldn't care about other people, what other people say, but it does say a lot about how you feel about yourself. Like I like I said, I used to dress very revealing in times where I thought that that's all I had to offer.
Hmm.
You know,
Mm.
and it turns out that after observing, sorry, my attitude, my demeanor, my job, it shows you who you really are, what you want to put out in the universe. I also thought about when I had kids, how it would look like that their mom was always showing something. you know, it's kind of weird in a way, but I feel better actually when I'm dressed. I, I like to dress sexy. I like to dress flirty and chic, and that doesn't take away from my sex appeal. I feel like it actually might give me a little bit more because it portrays elegance, it portrays um, class, professionalism, and it says about me that my aura is clear. My energy is a good energy, and I don't necessarily have to show everything to tell the world that I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, but those guys, like she's saying, like the men, if the man respects her, she can dress how she wants and stuff like that. Does your man really respect you if he's willing to let the rest of the world see all your goodies? There's like a little level to that. Like r- the line between sexy and vulgar, you know? Respect goes a long way. Men look at all women, you can't stop them. Yes. So as a respectful woman, you stay grounded and respectful as standing walking next to your man and making it clear that that is all. Yeah. You can do that too. I mean, if you want to have your man as your bodyguard and cover the same titties that you're trying to show the world because that's what you chose to wear, then by all means. But then what's the point? Can you hide your big boobs? Oh, your big butt or your boobs? I mean, yeah, you can. But then again, like, what's the point? Like, if you wanted to dress revealing, why do you have to use your man as a shield and have to be by him? So when you go to the bathroom, he's gonna escort you. When you're gonna get in the car, he's gotta cover you from everybody else seeing everything that's about to be revealed because your dress is so short, or you wore a net dress that day with no underwear on it. Like, I think there's a line. There's a line to be drawn when it comes to that.
So there's a thin line between all that.
Huh?
You said there's a thin line between it.
Between being vulgar, yeah, like being a little too ghetto, and being sexy. You can be sexy without having to show everything. You
Yeah,
know.
Yes, I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
But she said that just stand by your man. You pull the comment back up if you want. Like she said, like you just stand by your man and show respect that you're with that person, and that's all. But it's like you shouldn't have to do that. If you feel comfortable with what you decided to wear on your own and he respects you that way and he's okay, then what's the point? No, it's not hard to say no or tell another man you're taking, feel good in your skin and love you and your man will respect you. Yeah. Like I said, if you feel comfortable with that, that is perfectly fine. Like I will never tell a woman, because I'm a woman and I have been there. I would never tell a woman, like, don't dress provocatively if you don't want to dress provocatively. But I feel because of the growth that I've made in my life that I don't need to be that revealing to show that I'm beautiful or to feel sexy. Because
Yeah.
I also found it fun that I would dress a little bit more like covered and portray my sexiness in a different way, like accentuate areas on my body with the way that I dress as well.
Yeah.
Because when I went back home with the same man, that's where I want to portray how sexy I can really be. Like, let's skip this dessert and go home so I can show you what I really
Oh shit! You on some shit? Like, oh,
but,
hold on.
but also I'm being real. This is just like reality. It for me, that's more fun
Yeah.
than going out there and showing everybody what I have to offer. But if you
Yes,
feel
I agree.
comfortable, if you feel comfortable with that, that is fine. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just saying how I feel about it, and also I want to be seen professionally. I want to be seen as a lady with class. If you go to my Instagram, I used to have, now I don't
What's
because
what's your what's your Instagram?
it's the same handle that I have there, sunkiss.healing.
Okay.
But if
I'll look
you
it
if
up.
you go to my Instagram, you probably see about 9 posts. Only 6 of them have pictures of me, and you will see like sexy but elegant or gym wear, but
Okay.
not revealing. It's like, but before, and I got called out by one of my friends about it. They were like, "Why are you showing all this skin for? Like, what are you doing?" And I took it all off because it's true. Half of the people on my internet, I don't know. Why do I need them to be looking at my butt? Like, no. And also, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that because of their own insecurities with their body. And I can talk about that because I've been there probably my entire life. Like
You've had insecurities your whole life, pretty much.
I did for most of my life. I did, and sometimes I still struggle because we live in a world where physical appearance is like the main thing because it's the first thing you look at. You know, image
Yeah.
sells.
Hey, but men love like I think plus size women are like the end thing now.
Look, and I'm gonna say, and I
So,
agree, but I'm gonna say it because when I used to live back home in Puerto Rico, things were not that way. In Puerto Rico, big girl was for nobody. Nobody wanted a big girl at all. But then I moved to the USA, and I received,
All the niggas wanted you.
especially black men.
Yes.
Yeah, especially black men or mixed.
So they like, yeah, they prey on women like y'all.
Yeah.
Actually, they prey on women like y'all. Really.
The look, I've lived it. I lived through that.
Yeah.
It was very it was a cultural shock for me for sure.
Yeah.
But I did grow up with a lot of physical insecurities because, as a big girl in school, that was a problem. Like the the jocks didn't want to be with you. They would talk about you all the time. The skinny girls always laughing. The only thing I can say about me though is I have a different energy. Like I vibe with all groups.
Yeah.
Like fortunately for me, like I can literally acclimate to anybody's personality and have fun with anybody individually. But it also comes
Yeah.
at a price because half of the times you do click with a lot of people because of the way that you are, but it also means that a lot of people are going to hate you for the same reason.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't help that I'm a big girl. You know what I mean? So I struggled with a lot growing up, but when I did get up here and I received all that attention and intentions, good and bad ones, I learned a lot. And I learned to like parts of myself just as much as I learned to not like parts of myself, which is why I'm
Yeah.
now modifying some things about my life.
Mm.
yeah,
Now, I will not use this as an excuse, but nobody really knows the reason why I am the way that I am physically, and that is for me to
Yeah.
know and for me to work on. And that's like whoever does decide to come in to my life needs to love me and accept me for the way that I am and the things that I struggle with, you know.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
Respect.
but that's not just for the big girls, that's also for the very skinny ones. Everybody has
Yeah.
insecurities of some sort. Maybe your teeth, and maybe your eyes, your cheekbones, your hands, whatever.
I'm glad that you're speaking on this. So, being that we're on this topic, let me ask you: what do you think? What do you think is the result of the impact that social media has on results of their idea of beauty?
It's huge. It's huge because this is what we're looking at on our day to day. This is our newspaper now. Image.
Yes,
It's our
yes,
newspaper. We wake up and we open Instagram and there's a beautiful woman with a humongous ass and and she's working out and she's skinny and she's got long hair, shiny cheekbones, like perfect. But the reality is you're not gonna find her in real life.
right,
Heavily influenced by filters. We're heavily influenced by opinion and, like I said, the illusion of options earlier.
The illusion of options. I like that.
It's ridiculous. You're always going to feel like you're gonna find the next best thing, and you're really not. Like sometimes what you have in front of you is exactly what you need. You
Yeah.
know,
Hey, that's honestly yes.
yeah. This my next point was gonna be BBLs and surgeries and stuff. I'm not one to speak because in a time when
Honestly,
my insecurities were so big, I considered it. I
yeah.
considered getting surgery myself. I was like, maybe I just need to go get me a weight loss surgery and then go and get me another surgery to fix what the first surgery didn't fix. And eventually I'm going to look like Cardi
Hold
B.
on, hold the hell up. You wanted a surgery?
I definitely considered it. I didn't, I
Mm,
don't think at no point I've actually said, I'm going to go and get it now. You know what I mean?
okay.
But to consider it, yeah, because it comes with the insecurities that have been put in your head by the fact that the men that you want didn't like they're consistently looking at that, what you're wanting to look like, you know.
All right. So, what type of
But
man do you want?
okay, but
Well,
that's another
all
that's
right.
another
Never mind. All
topic
right. Never mind.
because
Eh,
no, no, I'm
Never mind.
gonna tell you, I'm gonna
Never
tell you.
mind.
No, because this is important though. She said about the fake boobs and lips and stuff like that, but it's the same thing that allowed me to understand where I stood and how I learned to love myself the way that I am
Yeah.
before even starting my weight loss journey or even starting to focus on my physical health. Because I learned that when I look back, I never, or I should say, I always got absolutely every single man that I wanted to be with.
Yeah.
Like it never stopped me from intimacy with any man that I wanted,
Yeah.
you know. But did it keep me happy inside, like myself, within myself? It was conflicting, you know. So you want to work on those things. If
Yeah.
somebody is struggling with some sort of image issue, body image issue,
Yeah.
don't do it for the next person. Do it for yourself because it does not affect the people around you. It only affects you, you know. Um, but yeah, it
It's
doesn't.
all about you, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't. It never stopped me from getting the man that I wanted,
Mm.
Yeah.
you know. And it still doesn't.
Damn. Still.
Yeah, it still
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay.
It's. I'm not trying to say that I can just call whoever and they're just gonna pop up because but the type of man that I've always been attracted to has never really had an issue with liking me, which is it was a big also shock for me because I grew up thinking that that type of guy was never gonna look at me, you know.
Mm.
But
Right.
then they did, and that's all that looks like. I've never been with a big guy
So you
ever.
like skinny niggas?
Not actually. I'm more into the athletic, tall dudes, gym bro vibes. but I used to use that motivation. I never thought about it as a possibility for a relationship because I never thought that that was a type of guy that would cater to me. But it
Yeah.
turns out that it is.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel that. I agree. I feel that.
I've never
Let
really
me
had a chubby guy or a big dude, and never in my life.
let me
Never.
ask you, have you ever felt inadequate in a relationship due to social media comparisons?
Yeah, I have actually. I felt compared a lot. She's the female's male. What does that mean? I'm sorry.
Like we like you. That's what he's saying.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, you're the homie. Oh shit, you do that too? Yeah, you're the homie.
like the
Oh, you're the
filters.
homie.
He likes the gym
Yeah.
rats.
Yeah, you're the homie. That's what that means.
Oh, yeah, because I don't. But I want to clarify. It's not that I haven't tried it. It's just really I've never been approached by a bigger dude. Like I'm always approached by the skinny man or the athletic bodies. Like I've never been approached by a bigger dude.
Mm.
Right.
That's just what I guess I attract, and I'm not gonna be mad for it. You know what I mean? Because that's my type.
Right.
Um, But what did he say last? Or what was the question? The
Whew.
comparison, my bad. The comparison, right? With social media.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes. Has something else, a comparison in a social media relationship made you feel inadequate.
which is the main cause of cheating nowadays too, by the way, because you may have a woman at home and you're looking on Instagram, and apparently you're more aroused by the women on Instagram that you want to have than the one you have at home.
Damn,
And
Mm,
the
you just
reality
said some shit. You just said some shit. Hey,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's true. It's very
no,
true.
it's true.
And it's
It's
sad.
definitely true.
I caught one of my exes plenty of times in the bathroom, to his Instagram.
Mm.
Really?
And none of the
Oh
girls
man.
looked like me. And I was with this man for a long time. You
Oh
know what
man.
I mean?
And
And
how
and
did
it's
that make you feel if you don't mind us asking?
like 6 or 7 years.
I said how did that make you feel if you don't mind us
Oh, how
asking?
did that make me feel? Estranged. Like I was in an alternate reality
Yeah,
because
I would imagine, right?
yeah, because it they didn't look like me at all.
Yeah,
And then
Rosa. Okay, Rosa on here. Okay.
that was like another um how can I say this? Like
I think that's right. Roxanne's mom's. Yeah, Rosa. We out here. All right. I see you, Rosa.
yeah, I have also experienced that. I have also experienced the getting taken advantage of because we also have bigger hearts.
Bigger
We
hearts.
yeah, everything is big with a big girl. you know, it really is. And in my process, I found that the more I gave for myself emotionally, the more I was getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that is
Okay.
that it's sad to say that, but it's the truth. And I lost my father when, like 5, 6 years ago now. And I'm a daddy's girl, heavy still.
Mm.
um, but I found also that after I lost my dad, I also got taken advantage of more because now I was vulnerably looking for somebody that I could rely on emotionally,
Hmm.
like I did with my dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's heavy.
So it's a lot when it comes to getting taken advantage of as a big girl, but and it still happens still nowadays. I'm genuinely very open with men when I meet them,
Yes.
and actually I hope that the people that I'm talking about particularly get to watch this at some point because I'm very big on karma as well, and I feel like the deliverer for karma is God.
Yeah.
And if you have children, pay attention to what you do to the women that you pay attention to or have intentions to, because you don't usually pay for your own karma. They do. Your children
Yes.
do.
I agree. One. Damn. You hitting all the spots. Like you just like.
Just a
I like
reality.
that. I like that for you.
I'm trying to be as self-aware as I can and as real as I can because I feel like maybe there's a lot of people that might end up watching this and relate, especially
Yes.
as a woman, a minority, and a big girl. Maybe you never know. Even a regular woman, it doesn't matter. And I
Yes.
really hope that I don't get judged heavily on this. I feel like a lot of people are going to have their reservations about what I've been saying or have to say.
Yeah.
But I want everybody to be mindful and remember that this is coming out of personal experiences, not for you guys to take it on and make it your own. Your own,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And there
Um,
ain't no wrong answer on art for change.
I
Also,
knew I
just
knew when I
listen.
said something about my dad, this was gonna come up. My point exactly from earlier, she hit her lowest and was looking for a man with her dad's qualities, and at her lowest point is if went into full effect. Not what I meant.
He
Not what I
was
meant.
looking for the comeback. Huh? He was
Because
looking.
I felt like as soon as I said that, he was going to come up and say something about it because I remembered his comment. And that's not what I said. When you brought it up, you said that we wanted to train the men to be like our fathers. I said that when I lost my father, I was in a more vulnerable position to find a man that would understand how to feel my emotional needs like my dad did. It's a
Mm.
big difference.
All right. So you want to read Roxanne's comment?
That's what daughters hurt when their daughters are taken advantage of.
And look, to answer that, I'll answer that. Like, my daughters, like, are everything to me. I'm with them, like, every day, every single day, no matter what. Like, I got five daughters, actually. Five daughters and one son. And I'm with them every day. And they mean the world to me. And I want to show them what it means to be a man. And I do that every single day, no matter what, every single day. So yeah, I love that for me, and I love that for them too.
Yeah, I when you date somebody that has kids, as a woman, and they have kids, and they have daughters, particularly, it hits home for me in a personal level when they don't have enough time for me because they have to pay attention to their kids.
Yeah.
Um, because you start to feel like less of a priority in their life, but you also have to acknowledge that the kids are a priority. Um, Balance is important as well. But because
Yes.
I was a daddy's girl, and of course I miss my dad all the time, I encourage men with specifically daughters to prioritize that connection. Because at
Yes.
the end of the day, women you will find, and men you will find. But daughters, you're only going to have those. And they're going to need that guidance when they reach their adulthood and they're looking for their own man.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think it's very important.
Yeah. Very. Yep.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But it's tough. I think it's a tough situation. It's a very sensitive topic because everybody sees it from a different perspective. I don't know what's his name. I'm so sorry. I do not want to disrespect by saying
Matt had a Marshall.
I don't know what his situation is or his experience has been. And I don't ever want him to think whatever I said as an attack because it's not. It's just like I I wouldn't want anybody like my dad to be my husband. I do want to, of course, see traits that I grew up seeing in my dad, because that's how you find security. But you don't have to train people to do that.
Mm.
You just find
Let's
that.
take that.
And you should feel that way about your wife. If you're married or if you're going to find a wife, you should feel the same way. You want somebody that has a maternal instinct, but is not treating you like a mom. Yeah. Men should treat their women how you want your daughters to accept to be treated. They learn from home. That is in fact true. I'm
Hey,
saying.
Rosa, you're 100%. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, mama. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah,
Yeah. But that doesn't happen. I'm gonna tell you, she's
it
right.
doesn't happen, but she's right.
Yeah, she's absolutely right. But unfortunately, I don't think the men are seeing that as a thing because
Yeah.
those same men that treat their girls like, or not even, but they treat their daughters better because they're their daughters, and they
Yeah.
think that, oh, that's all I have to do because that's my daughter.
Mm.
But they're still treating the women that they're trying to have sex with, or trying to engage with, or trying to do all these things with, like they're nothing. And like I said, treat the women around the people, period, around you how you want to be treated because that karma, you are not going to have the chance to pay it. It's your kids.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is made.
Yeah.
You were not made to feel your karma through yourself. That's why you had kids. That's why you have family members. That's also why the devil will use the people closest to you to hurt you.
Mm.
It's the same thing.
Man,
Mom,
you've been
sisters.
getting deep. Hold up.
It's just I don't know why I wanted to say that, but it's the truth. It just kind of came on a spur of a moment. It probably don't even have nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
You've been getting a little deep today. Okay.
but it's the truth.
I hear it. I feel you. I like it. That's dope.
That's why us women shouldn't accept them type of women's. I don't get that. I'm sorry.
I think she might have been those type of men.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Roxanne asked earlier, she said, how do you know somebody fully, or how is the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life? And it kind of helps that comment that she just said, because you don't. You just kind of have
Right.
to trust yourself in your choosing. And that is something else I just got told by my therapist friend. Because he told me you have to change the formula that you use when you are trying to get to know the men that you allow in your life.
Mm.
And that spoke volumes for me. I was like, this is true, because I keep using the genuinity in my heart and the feelings, the big feelings that I have, to treat all of these men. It don't matter how bad have been towards me. It don't matter how rude or disrespectful they have. I have the tendency of trying to look or focus on the good in people and just going by that and forgetting all about all the wrong they did, because I feel like everybody should be looked at from the best perspective possible. And that is something that I'm doing wrong. So I need to switch my formula and be like, no,
Okay.
like you just can't focus on the good alone, especially when it's already been hurting you.
Hey, yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, do you
You
ever
go,
like
Fred. You go, Fred. I'm proud of you, Fred.
do you ever shoot your? All right, you can read that.
So, what is your perspective of your partner and their best friends being of the opposite sex? I might change my tea for wine in a minute. Hmm. Whew. I'm gonna be real. Please don't come for me. Nobody that might be watching this.
I'm a coffee. She probably. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's hear it.
I don't agree. I do not believe that men and women can be just friends. I feel like at some point, whether it's at the beginning, I'm not saying it can't shift. I feel like it can shift. But I feel like at some point in that connection, because we know human nature, something is bound to happen. They might have met in the position where this is what we want to do sexually, intimately, or this is where we met each other because we want to date. And maybe it didn't work out. But guess what? They already had sex. They already thought about it. It was already
You're crazy.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Wow. I got a best friend that I never touched or like anything like, and like she's been on the phone with my lady too as
Yeah.
well. Like we've never did nothing. I might be one out of 1,000.
It
One
can
or
happen. Yeah.
I might be one out of 1,000. But
Like
I
I
like,
got, I
said,
yo,
got, I got. I feel like I got several
hey,
female
Antonio, I'm
friends
talking about
that
Kimia.
I've
You already
never.
know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Kimia.
I got several female friends I've never slept with.
Yeah.
and
No,
that can happen.
I'm saying no. They're saying best friend, not female friends.
What?
Best
Oh,
friend.
best friends is what you said. I'm sorry. But I
Yeah,
mean,
best friend. They're saying best friend. Like
I've
it's
seen it
not
happen
female
too.
friends.
I've seen it happen too. But unfortunately, in my experience, no. Like I'm not saying it can't. I'm not saying it can shift. I respect it if it does happen. Especially if I were to meet the guy and I already know, like he comes out and say like, oh yo, like we've known each other since we were in preschool and we grew up together and this is the dynamic.
It's like my sister type shit. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
like I
yes,
can see that. But
that's what it is pretty much. Like,
yeah, I can see that happening. But I don't
but other than
most of
that,
the
like
times
yo, no. Other than that, no, I'm not. I
because
don't
let me tell
befriend
you
any
this.
woman. Like I don't befriend any woman.
Let me ask you this. Like say you're in a relationship, right? And then like you had this friend. Oh no. Let me put it even better, easier for you. You're gonna die. Say your wife comes up and she says, "Oh, you remember that friend I told you about a couple years ago? I didn't really talk to him much like for a while, whatever. But we just reconnected recently. Oh yeah, but we grew up together. And then you see the dynamic. It's like, yeah, they're friendly and stuff like that. But then you find out that they in fact had sex when they were like 18, 19. But things didn't work out. They went their separate ways. Oh, now all of a sudden this guy is in her life. They've been friends for their entire life. Do you feel?
And they had sex before. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes. Like
You got me fucked up.
Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck?
That's one thing. Now, say
Hey,
they didn't have sex.
either either you you gotta go. Either he gotta go or both of y'all gotta go.
Right. That's
That's
one
it.
perspective. Another perspective
Hey,
is
I wish
maybe
I was
they,
lying. Hey,
huh?
I wish I was lying. Either
Right.
he gotta go or both of y'all gotta go.
But it's the truth. And maybe no, absolutely. I already look this. I read it from a
I
glance.
don't play.
Absolutely not. What about your man venting to another female? No, cut it off. Absolutely not. No, that man does not respect you. That man does not respect your marriage. Nope. There's you should never. I don't care how long they've been friends. That's not their position. That's not his position. The only person that man should be talking to about his marital problems is the spouse. That's it. It doesn't have to be the
I
mom. It
like
doesn't
you.
have to be
Yeah,
the sister. It doesn't
you're
have
some
to be
shit.
his best friend. Because let me tell you something about that. This is a big issue. Once you've already put out a bad image about your spouse, that's
It's hard for
it.
somebody else to see them differently. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. And now,
yeah.
say that same friend's been watching that relationship for a long time, expecting it
Yeah,
to
and then
fail.
and then they don't even want to see the good in it.
You just open the
Yeah.
door for them to come in and
Yeah,
finish
they don't want to see the
destroying.
good. Yeah,
No, definitely not. And this is also a reason why I don't really agree with the whole being friends with the opposite sex because you do not know truly the ulterior motive this person might have in their head.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree. Yeah,
That's just my
you on some shit. Yeah, I agree with you.
same thing about being friends with exes. I've always felt a little too like on the edge, on the fence about that because you've already been exes. You already seen this man
Yeah,
in this entire way, and the female too. It's like if something goes wrong, you already know where you're going.
yeah.
So what's the deal? Like, no,
I agree with.
it's not. I
Damn.
don't think it's a safe
You,
or healthy environment if you're in a marriage. Now, if you're single and you want to be friends with your exes, cool, do what you will. But if you're in a marriage or a committed relationship that you know you want to take to the next level, I don't think it's a good thing for you to be friends with your exes.
yeah.
It's an open door.
Yeah,
Girls don't need to trash the man at lunch and the park while home with kids while with girls. Huh?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Hey,
Well, you understood because you're dying laughing. So
no,
please.
so hey, I love this. We're going to definitely have to have you back. We're coming up on 2 hours for our end of our show for tonight. So give the people a lasting advice for like relationships. Well, what you got for the people?
I want you to be yourself. I
be
want you to,
you. Hey, be
yeah,
you.
be
Hey, that's
you.
funny. Hey, you already know. Be
Man,
you.
I said Herbie, you so fucking rude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Star.
No,
You can
she,
repeat
No,
again.
she said be yourself, nigga, and I replied,
yeah,
be you.
he's talking
What?
about his own name.
Yeah,
But I want
that's
you
me.
to
Don't hate.
remain genuine about yourself.
That's
Don't
it.
allow people to try to come tell you who to be or how to be in a relationship. If this person loves you and sees a future with you, he will or she will do what it is needed for that relationship to explore and go beyond. And absolutely love yourself the way that you are. It does not affect anybody around you to love yourself but yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yes.
what I have to say. And I really hope that it helps somebody today.
Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure for you to be with us today, man.
Thank you for having
Be
me.
you.
This was fun.
Yes, be you. You got a closing statement for the people.
I said be you. You got mad at it. So hey, be you. Hey. So hey, that's it.
You don't want to
Hey,
say anything else.
I said what I said. Like what? Yeah, y'all mad at that? Well, you mad at that? What the hell going
No
on?
one's mad. Who's
I'm
mad?
confused.
No,
Everybody
be
got
you.
a smile on their
Be
face.
you. Be you.
Yeah,
Don't worry about Mister.
Hey, you
I
already know.
know, right?
Be you. That's all. That's all you gotta do is be you.
100%.
Don't be Mister.
Don't be Mister.
Yeah, just be you.
Thank you guys for
All right.
having me, and I hope
All
y'all
right, yeah, this
enjoy.
was a dope show, though.
Yes.
All jokes
You're
aside,
welcome
man,
back
this
anytime you
was
want to
dope.
come back.
Thank you.
Anytime we got any topics that tickles your fancy, you're welcome to join us, Queen.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for watching, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to tell a friend on Mondays, on Thursdays, on Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live in the place to be. Art for Change, baby. Peace and love.
Let's get it.